Hey guys, it's a bit windy today, so I'm really hoping that you can hear me. But it is Sunday, so I'm doing my long run. They're not very long at the moment because I'm building back into my fitness, but I've got about an hour and a half to do. The weather is lovely, as you can see, but it isn't raining yet, so I'm taking that as a win. I'm just on my local trails, so nothing major planned, but I do have some exciting race updates, as well as a new training plan. Yeah, I did some volunteering recently, which changed the game for me in terms of my race plans. Yeah, so I've got a few exciting things to talk about today, so probably a chatty one today, but I will of course show you the local scenery as well. I've got a week off this week, which is much needed. Haven't had a week off since Christmas, so 5 months. Lots of stuff to show you this week. Lots of me gasping up a hill, lots of sheep. What more can you want? So, as I'm just jogging along this little flat bit, I thought first of all I'll start you off by telling you about the volunteering. So, I've always wanted to do some volunteering at a race because I feel like it's just something I'd probably really enjoy, and from my few experiences at races I know how much difference like a volunteer can make to how you feel and how the race goes. So I guess wanted to kind of give back a little bit, but also on a more selfish level, I kind of wanted to get a feel for the race itself and just like suss it out a little bit. So it's Stable Adventures, who are like a sister race company of Pegasus. It's run by the same people, I think. They do a race called the Epona. So it's a 100-mile race, and they also did 100k this year. And yeah, it was in my local area now, so all around kind of the Black Mountains in South Wales. And yeah, I thought, why not volunteer? So it was all a bit last minute, but I ended up at checkpoint 7, which was in Blaenavon. Well, I say just, but I did a 12-hour shift, which felt quite long, but it's basically the final aid station before the 100-mile guys finished. So it was a good one to volunteer at, actually, because you got a real sense of that final stage, especially for someone like me who's not volunteered in that kind of environment before. It wasn't like some of the earlier checkpoints had a few kind of medical emergencies because it had been hot, people were pushing too hard, and or like too hard for the conditions, because it was super hot that day randomly in the morning. Whereas this later checkpoint had people who were 90 essentially miles in, so they were kind of they were going to finish unless something kind of terrible happened. So sorry, just trying to traverse the little mini lake. But yeah, so it was a good first experience because it wasn't too serious, but I saw people, I guess, at like their most tired. But also it was a hopeful place because most people knew they'd finish at that point, even those that maybe hadn't had the kind of race they wanted. So essentially all I did was make cups of tea and sandwiches all night long, or all day long, sorry, which was fine by me. But it was really interesting to see what people did that sort of thing, because in my head I think I'd built it up to it was all these super athletic, like super super slim, like basically not me. So people who I can like identify with, these like super athletes that were doing this crazy thing, but actually like it was just normal people that were trying really hard and that had trained really hard, and actually I could see myself in those people a lot more than I expected. Also, another plus point about the Epona specifically, and kind of Pegasus slash Stable Adventures as like a race company, is they're really, really friendly, and that is reflected in the cut-offs. So I think for the Epona 100 mile this year, there was a 50-hour, like 50 cut-off, which is generous. So a lot of people I know in the final section walked the whole thing. They were fine, they were still well under the cut-off. So I think in terms of like them as a race company, I was really impressed. I was really impressed by how organised they were. I was really impressed by kind of how well looked after the runners were. It just was like good vibes, basically. So I really enjoyed that day. It was really fun. I think the race itself looked really fun, and I definitely want to do more volunteering in the future, because I feel like I got quite a lot from it. And also I learnt a lot in terms of like how to manage yourself at that distance, what foods people were asking for. Nothing sweet. At that point it was all savoury basically. So on a selfish level it was really useful as well for my own kind of like knowledge, which leads me on to my next point about what race I want to do. So, did you guess? No prizes for guessing, but so the day after the volunteering, I woke up at 4:45 in the morning, which is not normal for me. I normally wake up absolutely earliest 5:30, normally about 6. But I woke up because I was just so like excited, because I'd kind of had this idea forming in my mind for a while, but I think kind of deep down, I guess, like in my heart, not to be too cheesy, but as soon as I did the volunteering I kind of knew that like it was a go. So I guess I was just like sleeping on it. I hadn't kind of said this to anyone, or even I think said it to myself, but when I woke up I went and sat downstairs, made my usual like cup of tea, sat on the sofa with the cats and signed up to the race. So I'm doing the Epona 100 miles next year, next May. It feels a bit crazy to say that, because the furthest race I've done so far is 37 miles, so it's nearly 3 times as long. And usually people would do some shorter races first, like a 50 mile, 100k, etc. But I think there's something to be said about doing something which really excites you and scares you, because the 50 mile, I know it would be super hard, and I think if I end up training for that and doing one in the build up to this, I'll really enjoy it. However, it's not the thing which scares me, because I've done the 37 before. I am kind of quietly confident that on a good day a 50 is doable, whereas 100 doesn't feel doable, but in an exciting way. And I've got a whole year, so yeah, basically I signed up before I could talk myself out of it. So I think it's going to be a big year of training. I'm not doing the like training plan on my own, which I'm really grateful for, because I only have so much faith in apps for me, because I would say I'm not like usual runner in terms of so I'm just trying to avoid the bog as always. But I get a lot of injuries, like my gait's terrible. I just have like quite specific needs, and obviously an app doesn't account for those, and I can manage it to a point myself, but I feel like I need utmost faith in the plan and in the direction that we're going for me to succeed, basically. So about 3 weeks ago I started working with a coach who lives locally. So it's her, and I'll link her coaching in the description box. Actually, she's called Bethan, and their coaching is called Adventure Run Coaching, but I'll link it because it doesn't always come up on Google search. But basically last year when I did my ultra, I did a navigation session with Brett, who is the like co-coach, I guess, in the business, and really liked him. He was super knowledgeable, really nice guy. He also does really well, they both do really great things in their work as well. They work in like a outdoor partnership thing. Again, I'll link it in the description because I feel like I'm butchering this, but it's essentially a really noble mission. So I just really liked him, and he taught me a lot on that single day as well, in terms of like nav and stuff. So then obviously I followed him, found their coaching business, and then found Bethan. So anyway, so far I'm really loving it. Like, the coaching is going really well. When I lived in Bristol, I lost a lot of fitness after my race, because I don't want to like rehash it, but as we know, I'm more of an outdoor rural person than a city person. So running in Bristol was not really my jam, so I didn't, basically. So it's very much a rebuild of fitness phase at the moment, but even in the past 3 weeks I've really noticed that I basically plateaued since Christmas, because I was training myself using an app. The app was good, but I wasn't sure when to push myself, when not to, so I was kind of like middling, I would say, for a while. But since moving here, starting coaching with Bethan, doing like hill sessions, interval sessions, fun runs like what I'm doing today, and also just having access to the mountains like every morning, I've noticed my hill strength and stuff is getting a lot better, and my fitness is slowly getting better as well. So yeah, really excited. I feel like I'm in good hands with the coaching, which is nice. So yeah, super excited, super nervous as well, but I think that's the best way to be for these big goals, isn't it? And also with the 100 miles, I just think in terms of life, if not now, when? I'm very free at the moment, got a lot of free time, I'm in a great area, like I've got the means to do it. So you've got to go through these things whilst you can, haven't you? Because you never know what's around the corner. The reason I picked Epona, apart from all the reasons about the great race company and the friendly vibes and all the rest of it that I've already spoken about, is the race itself actually looks so fun, and it's really local to me as well. So it starts in Abergavenny, and you basically do a big loop going up into the Black Mountains and then coming kind of back around in a big loop, finishing again in Abergavenny. So it's a lot of local trails and mountains which I can train on throughout the year, and hope to, because it's the mountains I've wanted to explore anyway, so I've got a great reason to go now. And it's really bloody hilly. It's quite a hard race apparently. I can't remember the exact elevation profile, so I'll pop it on the screen now. They do sometimes change the course, so I'm hoping they keep the course the same for next year, because it really suits me. And like I said, it means I could train on the trails a lot, so I know I'd be comfortable with the nav, hopefully. As you may or may not know if you've watched this channel and my videos for a while, but I am terrible at nav, really very bad. So the thought of navigating off no sleep and overnight is a bit scary to me, so it's definitely something I'll practice, of course, but if I can be familiar with the trails themselves, then I'd really appreciate that. So that kind of takes a layer of anxiety, I guess, away. Stepping over in the mud, yuck, yuck, yuck. I don't know why I'm bothering trying to keep my feet dry. This the way I've run across Thwaites this time is full of bog. This is definitely the less trodden way, I think, for good reason. But yeah, so the race itself, the actual course, really excites me as well, which is a win, because some 100 miles to me just seem like a slog, not something I'd be particularly interested in. For example, I watched James Day's video on the Thames Path 100. That is my idea of hell. I can't think of anything worse than doing that. Like, hats off to people that do it, because that must be so hard on the legs, obviously, if you're like pretty much flat the whole time and on hard packed floor. I'm not sure if it's concrete or trail, I think it's a mixture, but either way, that to me seems like much harder, or harder in a different way. So yeah, this one seems really great. Obviously I'm going to show you like lots of my training from this, which I'm really excited about as well, so to have some nice long run vlogs to show you again. I might as well do my weekly like training, what's the word, like chat through, like I used to do, because I've actually got a little gym at home now, which is so nice, so I won't be really awkward about filming in there like I was before. So yeah, I might start doing that as well once we're not really in like the build yet. Obviously I've still got a whole year, so this is like my own fitness build rather than race specific stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, very exciting times, it's on my mind a lot at the moment. This little guy, oh hi, you're so small. I thought the big one was the baby. Oh, they're so cute. The lambs are like getting bigger now here, but some are still teeny tiny. I think that's because obviously the mum, I don't know, you probably can't really see on my GoPro, but the mum is tiny. So I think it's just a tiny lamb, small in stature like me. Lost my train of thought, but yeah, very exciting times for me and my running journey, I suppose. Up we go. Privilege of living somewhere like this, and trust me, I feel how lucky I am, but I don't have to plan a route, so it's a lot of really fun exploring for me at the moment, finding new routes and ways to link places up. I think I might head to the top of this little hill I'm on at the moment and then turn back. I've done about 50 minutes, but it has been a lot of walking this way because it's been uphill, so I think I'll be a little quicker on the way back, hopefully. This is my view. It's Blorenge there, and then you've got Sugarloaf in the far distance, which I think is actually just out of use over here. So, and then that is the River Severn, I believe, / the Bristol Channel, but I don't know where it stops being the Bristol Channel and it starts being just the mouth of the River Severn. So one or the other. What way do we want to go? I'm going to go left today. I hope, because I've moved around quite a lot recently, or in recent years, I hope that I can stay here for a while and this local hill will become like second nature to me, and I'll learn all of these little paths and how they connect and stuff like that. That's definitely like a little process goal, I suppose, for me at the moment, which is super fun. Found something not seen before. Can you see it? A black thing. Looks like maybe a plaque. So we'll go and find that. See what that is. Run to it, I suppose. Oh, it's a bit windy up here. Let's go have a look and see what this is, shall we? In memory of Carlo, a celebrated setter, accidentally shot August 12th, 1864. A setter like a dog? It must be, surely, if he's been shot. It was 1864, I suppose. Oh, that's so cute. I hope it is a dog. I'll look up when I get home and see if I can find anything about that. But that's crazy. It's been there since 1864. Shows how much things change around here. Right, I think I'm going to have a gel, admire the view, because I've just stopped up near this cairn. Is that how you say it? Cairn? Not very good with accents, which you'll come to realise when I start trying to practice my Welsh on camera. But yeah, I'm going to have my gel. I've got tailwind in my bottle, so I don't really need it, but I feel pretty tired today, even though I'm really happy to be out. But have a gel, that should see me home, and then yeah, just chilling for the rest of the day. Like I said, we've got the week off, so it's been so luxurious, doing lots of reading. I'm reading a book at the moment called Helm by Sarah Hall, I think, which is about the wind, a specific wind in Cumbria. So it's good. It's a bit weird, but it's really good, so I recommend if you're after a new book. I tried a new gel. This is not very interesting, but it's one of these Vimto ones. Whoa, it was disgusting. Would not recommend. I'll stick with my High Five Aqua ones, which just taste like orange juice. It was, the aftertaste is okay, but it's got a really strange, oh, it's making me feel sick even talking about it. I'm going to stop talking about it and just pretend that didn't happen, I think. In between filming, I'm listening to a new Tea and Trails. I talk about this all the time, but if you're into trail running, which I'm assuming you might be if you're watching this, it's really popular, so you've probably heard of it anyway, but if you haven't, it's basically two hosts, Gary and Eddie, a male and a woman, and they release usually 2 episodes a week. So one is more of like a chatty, how their training's going, they do like questions, stuff like that. You can send your own stories in, etc. And then they do a separate episode, which is an interview with someone in the running world. Sorry, just trying to remember my route. And it's really good. Keeps you company, makes you laugh. I definitely recommend if you're into